Well, hello friends. Today we are going to make some improvements to the Visual Builder, and I'm going to use the combo box that I created the other day and make these thingies here for editing Boolean properties. I want them to be like just a drop down where you can select true or false. So in order to do that, we're going to have to make it possible to register like a custom editor widget for an arbitrary index in this table. I think that's how we'll do that. So let's have a look at how that would be like. So this is a table view, and currently it inherits the editing capabilities from GAbstract view. And when you double click on something here, then we call it begin editing. And what that does is that it checks if the model that's being shown in the table view is editable, and if so, it creates this edit widget and then places it over the item here in the table. Okay, so basically right now all that we do is we just create a text box and then put it above where the item would normally be visible, and that's the text box that you see here. So what we want to do is create a custom, or make it possible to create a custom widget. So I think that the way we want to do that is maybe we can have a callback, like an optional callback. So we can say that edit widget is we can do like this first, and then we'll say if create edit widget, create edit widget for this index. Okay, and then if edit widget, if we don't have one, then we keep doing this thing. This is not really as flexible as I would like it to be, because you know, if we do this, then we're kind of tied into like things that inherit from gtextbox or whatever, because we do set text on the edit widget. Okay, so scrap this idea and let's do something different. Let's say edit widget. And then we'll have an edit widget factory, or an edit widget, editing delegate object maybe. Okay, so let's see how that would look like. Create widget. Call it editing delegate. And let's see. And I guess we can have a default editing delegate. Let's just sketch this class out first. So let's see, editing delegate public. Okay, and then virtual widget, create widget. but I want something where I can like set the value of this thing. So I want to be able to do something like editing delegate. So I guess what I should really be doing is more like editing delegate set index model, do something like that, and then you can just grab the widget like this, and you would set the value. You wouldn't even have to set the value because it would pick that up. Okay, so then you would do something like editing delegate. Okay, so let's see. So this thing could just be like that. Create widget. Okay. So that's the one that the child has to implement, and let's see what this would look like. So text editing delegate. Or we can even call it like a string editing delegate, actually. Okay, and then virtual gwidget create widget. Text box null footer. Okay. And then we would also need virtual void set value. And what we would do then is widget static, I guess static cast text box widget set text value to string. Does that make sense? And then private gwidget and widget. Maybe this could even be a weak footer, actually. Simplify this a little bit. Okay. And we'll say bind gmodel and const gmodel index and index if model is a model and index is index, then return widget clear. Okay, so we're just gonna footer gmodel and gmodel index and index. Wow, this is a little bit it's a bit tricky here when I don't know exactly what it is that I want to do. right. So I bind to this index. So it's a bind. And then we just get the widget that way. And here we're going to call editing delegate set value. And we can start with that. And then when we press on return pressed, so we want that to be a little bit different. So we want it to be something more like editing delegate on commit. Editing delegate value. Okay. So I'm just kind of inventing this class here as we go, but this is a pretty typical way that I do this, is that I try to use it while designing it, but this is not really something I've ever built before, so I'm just playing by ear. Okay. So then we wanted an on commit thingy, a callback. So let's like this, on commit, and something to get the value. So that was a virtual, we'll do another virtual for this one. Variant value. String. Text, rather. Oh, and we're going to need a const overload for that. There we go. And I guess these can just be like that. They're very simple. Override. Okay, and then finally we need to define these up here. So cool. And then we'll do mWidget is create widget make wheat butter. So when you bind, then we create a new widget. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so should we call this editing delegate? We'll call it something. Call it hold on. G model editing delegate. String. G is this a good name? I don't even know if this is a good name. String model out. Well, let's just call it that for now. Okay, so let's model editing delegate. I think that's fine. So let's just put these in a separate file, because and because otherwise it gets messy and we want these elsewhere. And we're going to need G widgets, but we can forward declare that. Or no, we can't, because we need to call make weak footer actually. G widge, and what else? G text box, right? I think we're good. All right. Now let's include that in here. Or do we actually need to? I don't know. Maybe we can just do it like that. Hence, editing delegate, editing delegate. Because I think I'm going to use an own footer for it, because it doesn't need to be reference counted or anything like that. But we want to switch it out based on the index. So really, we don't even need to bind like this, but rather we need to have some function that returns a model editing delegate. So that would be something like, maybe now we need the aid. Aid create editing delegate. I guess index. So aid is like this this naming scheme that I'm trying out for callbacks that help with something. So it's like not like on foo, like on commit, which is something that happens when we commit, but rather it's like, hey, help me do this thing. And this goes on GAbstract view. So we'll put this here. So it'll be a function that returns a G widget based on a const G model index. Create editing delegate. And why did I think that it's going to return a G widget? That makes no sense. What we really want to return is an own footer G model editing delegate. That's what we want. That's a mouthful. But yeah. So then we'll say if or if there's no such function, then we just return because we can't do anything. But if we have one, or I guess we can just assert actually, so then we can figure out what the problem was. Okay. Yeah, and then it's his responsibility to hook it up to the right model and everything. And then the edit widget is just going to be a G widget here instead of being a text box. Okay. Now, how the hell do we use this? So that would be in the VB properties window. This is the table view here that has the properties in it that we were looking at. So let's see, m table view, aid, blah blah blah. And G model index. so let's figure out what the heck we're gonna do. I mean, I guess to start with, we can just do string model editing delegate. G model editing delegate. So we'll start with just making a string one. Oops. But we don't need this to work this way. We just need to do this in the constructor instead. So the constructor is going to have, or wait, hold on. Create editing delegate. Maybe you just do this. And then the guy who calls this will bind it. But we get the index here, so we might as well pass the index to the editing delegate. But is that... I don't know what's best. Let's let that, yeah, let's keep bind the way that we did. Okay, so that would go in G abstract view, keep bind here, and model is a function. Cannot bind to type of G model star. Why not? What am I doing wrong? There we go. Okay. Does that make sense? I guess it makes sense. Okay. So should he take the value out automatically? That's what I'm thinking. Let's just leave it like this for now, and let's see if this feels right. Unused parameter index. Oh, right, because I turned on W error. So like now all the warnings are errors. Because of that comment I got the other day on a video saying I wish that W error would be turned on. I turned it on. So now I got to deal with that. So I guess we should figure out what is the data type of this thing. This table view, where the hell do we set the model? So here, set the property model. Property model is VB widget property model. And we just have the name and the value here. So we should probably have the type as well. If we want to make some interesting things happen. So let's add the column with the type. The data and type. We don't have type information, that's great. I guess, well, whatever, what color are we gonna have? We'll make it blue. Set data, blah, blah, blah. All right. So what are these properties? They're VB properties. And, oh, they have a G variant value, so we can actually piggyback on that, I think. So value dot type and maybe we don't need to do any, or we need to know what the type is. How the hell do we return that? Okay, so this is a bit confusing, but like basically when you're asking model, how do I display this particular column, row and column, then we end up here asking for like, or I should back out. So a model is like a table with rows and columns, and for every cell in that table that we want to display on screen, we ask it, hey, can you give me the data for this index, which is the row and column, for this role with the display role. That's what we show on screen. And then the color of that is the same cell index, but with the foreground color role. And there are a few other roles that you can implement. Anyways, so now that I'm adding the type column, I guess we could just do something like this to begin with, and then in gvariant we could add a static const char to string gvariant type. Oh, not static, but like this. And then we can just make a this helper for this. So case gvariant type, and we'll just get all of these. I'm gonna do some classy text editing here. Okay, let's see. And I'm not good enough at this editor yet to do this with a regex, so I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. But I'm going to learn how to do this with regex and QCreator. If this were Vim, I would know what to do, but I'm not at that level yet. Okay, and then we'll say assert not reached here. Okay. So let's just see if this gives us something sensible. Because now we should have a third column in the properties window. And I still didn't fix that problem. So let's just, for now, we can just say it like that. Oh, shit. Okay, that's pretty good. Although they're not as blue as I thought they would be. What the heck happened with that? That's weird. Well, that's wait, it works for this guy. The hell is blue anyway? I'm getting really sidetracked here. Should be like a really noticeable blue. Well, whatever. This is not the problem that I was trying to solve. So let's just ignore that right now. And I'll get back to that at some point. But at least we can see the type here. So now we just have to plumb that type out to... I mean, I guess we can do this in the kind of the lazy way. Properties window. So this is a little ugly, but we'll say type is, or wait, hold on. Well, let's see what roles we have. So we have a custom role. So actually we can use that in the property widget property model. Let's say. So the idea with custom role is that you can use this for implementing like whatever you want, basically. And we'll say if column index.column is value. No, not value. Type. Sorry. Return unsigned property value type. Wait, what? Oh, right. I can't convert that too, because I have to return a G variant. So I'm just coming to an int, which we know how to convert to a G variant. So we'll say that. Otherwise, we'll just fall through. Or I guess we can do this actually. Okay, so now we can do a custom thingy. So that would be table view. If there's no model, return null butter, because then we can't help you. Okay, and then model data index G model role custom to int switch type VB, or no, what the heck is this? G variant. So I guess we can do like a G variant type like that, yeah. So if it's a string, then we'll do, or I guess this will be the default really, so we'll do a separate one for bool. Boolean model. Bool model editing delegate. Say default. And then return. I guess we have to say that. And then we need this guy to exist. So we can just start, like, we'll make one of our own right here. So model editing delegate, we'll just copy this guy to begin with. Cool. Okay. And for this we're going to need a combo box. Libgui G combo box. And what do we call those? I guess we didn't add a set text API, so that would just be string, or no, void G combo box set text. Editor set text. Okay. So let's see if this works at all, just to start it out. Okay, so for this guy, no, we don't get anything happening. We don't get any editing widgets. Okay, so this is just not working yet. Oh, I guess we're not actually adding these widgets to this one. So they're not becoming children of the GAbstract view. We are gonna need to do something about that. So add child edit widget. Oh shit, and I need to actually compile also. Okay, so that's the string. I mean, that's the default editing widget. Here's a bool. And we just get a text box here too. So it's not really working the way I want it. So why is it not working the way I want it? So what is a bool anyway? Bool is the number 1, okay. Well, let's just print it out. Aid, create editing delegate for type D. Let's just see what it says. Type 0. Those are all type 0. That's not working great. So how did I screw that up? What's wrong with this? Okay, so let's see. Turn type for, just do the index. No type for DD. No type for 6.1. Why is that? Oh. Right. I'm stupid because the index that I'm trying to edit is for the value. It's not for the type. So we have to create a new index here that refers to the type column because we're trying to edit the value column. So that would be the type index is mTableView model index index row VB properties, no, VB widget property model column type. We're gonna need to actually include that. Okay, select that, and then we need to do the lookup with the type index instead. And then we're not going to need that silly thing anymore because now the code is correct. It's a brave thing to say, now the code is correct. Okay, so there's our combo box. Nice. Of course, we don't have anything to show yet, but at least we know that we're making the custom widget finally. Okay, so let's try to to put some true and false in the dropdown. So for that, we're going to need to make a custom G model. It just has these. So let's see, class. Let's call it bool. Options model, bool values. G model. This is going to be a really boring model. So this can just do nothing. It'll have 2 rows, true and false. 1 column. And we don't need to do this. We can just do that. We should say override. Override. Right, okay. And then finally, I guess we can put this up here. Index. Let's just switch index row. Is not roll display, then just return like that. Which one do we do first? I guess false, obviously. This one, return true. Set not reached. Oh, wait, I have to actually make one of those. So we'll do that in create widget here. When we make the combo box thingy, we'll say auto combo set model. We'll make a new bool values model. Return combo. Okay. This should be public, I guess. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Now you can actually select like this. Nifty. So, oh shit. Pressing enter didn't do what I expected it to do. False, enter. I would like that to stop the editing. So, combo box. We hit on change. We should probably have on return pressed. Is that what we normally call that? Yeah. So let's see. We'll do that here. Editor on return pressed. We'll say if on return pressed on return pressed. So we'll just forward that to the G combo box callback if there is one registered. Okay. And then in G, where do I want to go? In the properties window. I guess where we how did this thing end up working? So we create that widget, and we wanted on commit to do something. So I guess we should have a protected thingy that's called like commit. On commit, then we'll do on commit. Okay, it can just be that, and then we'll put in here. We'll do like auto text box on return pressed. Text box. We'll say commit. So Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Return text box. Okay. And model editing delegate. We want to do sort of the same thing here. So when you hit return, then we commit the value. So let's see if that works. We'll change to false and press enter. And I guess it went through, but we committed an empty value, so it's not great. Uncommit. Why does that not work? Does that work for the other things? Let's try. Yeah, okay, so it just doesn't work for the combo box. Why not though? Combo box. Come on, combo box. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I guess we can do something like this. Committing text. We can do like this. This combo. Characters. I'm just curious what that thing contains when we commit. Boom. Okay, so it's empty. That becomes a string from that. That's not very good. Like from that point we're screwed. But false. Wait, that time it worked, but now it's a string. Oh shit. I don't want to do the toString thing. Set value. Like getting the value. Right, because we want to return a bool here. So what we really want to do is do like that. Actually, yes, we can just do that. It's a bit strange, but it'll work. Wait, I don't get it. Why does this not? It's kind of bizarre. And that like, I guess it doesn't have focus, maybe? Abstract view. Edit widget set focus true. Maybe the combo box needs to do something for that. So when you click on the open button, when we do open, Then we open the new window with the list box in it, but when we close, I guess we could do like mEditor set focus true. Give focus to the editor when we close the pop-up window. So let's see, switch to false. Okay, true. It certainly doesn't have focus. Who has focus? Is it even this window? I'm so confused. Also, that didn't work either. Visible, true. Okay, this is still not working right. Oh, I guess we have the debug output actually, so let's look at that. What the hell was it even saying when I was doing that? Change the false, and then we are quitting with empty. We're doing the unreturn pressed callback. So I guess already at this point, let's print out what the thing is. On return press CV with text. Don't have printf. Oh shit, I don't want printf, I want debug printf. I love debug printf. It's so helpful. Okay. And come here. Plop, plop. So it's already empty at that point. Switch to true. This thing visibly says true. Okay. It really does seem like okay, I'm really confused. So I wonder, like, why does the text go away, right? So is it because we are overwriting it at the very end by pressing enter? So like you press enter and it makes the text go away. Maybe that's what we're doing because we have a selection when we press enter. So let's look in the text editor to see what the circumstances are. So insert at cursor. If it's a single line text editor and we're told to insert a new line, then we just do unreturn pressed. Oh, insert at cursor or replace selection. I bet that we're here. And because we have a selection, then we delete the selection. So yeah, that's obviously what's happening. Okay, so we need to put this further up. So let's put this in on key down event key. I think that's going to do the trick. So switch visible to false. Right, actually switch to false. Switch to true. Oh, it doesn't have focus. But now that part works at least. So, okay, that's a weird behavior, but that's something else entirely. Okay, so why does it lose focus though? That's so weird. Let's see if we can commit something here. So we can do this text box change that we just made. Text editor. Yeah, we can do that. Git commit to text editor. Fire. Don't replace the selection when pressing enter in a single line. Don't replace selection on enter press in single line text editor. Okay. Did we have something else that was really separable? I guess this thing here where we add, yeah, just adding a way to stringify a G-variant. G-variant add to string G-variant type helper. And the G combo box, what was in there? G combo box. G combo box. Well, these are really kind of for G combo box add. I forget what I'm adding. Subtext and on return pressed hook. Also give focus back to the editor and closing the pop-up list window. Right now we're running low on separate things here. So what the heck was what's this focus issue? I want to figure that out. So it's after we close that thing. List window hide. So maybe we could do something like my window. Or like move our window to front. It's a bit weird, but I just want to see if that fixes anything. Doesn't have focus. This window is active. Now this is focus. Okay, focus to editor. Am I just totally misunderstanding what's going on here? I am misunderstanding. Hold on. So we're not in close. We are here in the on selection callback. So here we can call close instead, and then we'll get the extra behavior because it was just hiding the list manually instead of calling close. This is the hook for when the selection changes in the list view. Okay. switch to, that's kind of deceptive. False. I almost feel like when you change to true, then it should also commit right away, actually. Close, and let's see, on return pressed, on change. Should we consider that a return press? That is weird, but I guess it should be more of an on change. So who's hooking this thing? Let's see. Where did we do this? I'm blind. Properties window. On return pressed. So let's do the same here for on change. And we can just do commit. Change to false. Did we not? I guess it doesn't fire the change thingy. On change. So is it the editor that's not calling did change? So we're calling set text on the editor. Maybe that doesn't invoke did change. So let's just do did change manually. Oh, wait. Now we're invoking it too much. Oh, shit. Yeah, we can't do that with set text, because that would be weird. So how do we do this? So when you select here, then we do set text. And select all. Yeah, close, and then I guess if on change, then on change. Editor text. So we're just going to call on change directly in the selection change hook or callback. Okay, so now we pick false, and everything dies because recently freed memory, huh? Wait, why did we screw that up? Okay, I don't know why this doesn't work now. I mean, I guess something here is happening in a bad order. Set selected index, and then we probably invoke the onSelection thing. OnSelection. Yeah, so I guess we're doing that, like, did update selection happens, and then, where are we? For each view. Yeah, so we're iterating over the views, and I guess then the view disappears from underneath us. That's no good. So we can't quite do that, but we can do something like deferred invoke. How does this work again? Auto self or whatever. And then we'll say, can we capture this here? Does that work? I guess it does work. Oh, it's comfy. Okay. Because then we'll call it next time we get to the event loop instead. False. I guess it doesn't look different if it's disabled, but this guy, change him. Boom. Damn, that's nice. Wow, thank you, Pastel, for adding deferred invoke. That's freaking useful. Okay. Is there something else that I'm forgetting? I guess one thing is that, like, I don't want these to be like text editable. Also, oh, what the heck is that? That's so weird. Okay, well, that's some unrelated bug. But let's see. We don't want the combo box. We want the combo box to have a mode where the text editor is like a read-only, and like you can only choose stuff from the drop-down. So let's just add that mode. We'll call it something like pool. Should we call it restricted or may only use only allow values from model. Okay. False. Okay, and then actually, I guess we should probably put this out of line. Set will be if m only is b, then return. Okay. And then what we want to do with this is editor set read only to m only values from model. We'll just implement it that way for now. And then here, when we create this, we'll say combo true. Okay. Oh, if I'm pressing anything in it, then it closes. That's so weird. I wonder if that's something in that text editor. Let's see that. I did change. Where did we implement read only? To change So it's not that one, not that one. Inserted cursor. I feel like the change should never get called if we have read-only. So I would be curious what the call stack is for that. But we are starting to sort of go outside the realm of what I wanted to care about for this patch anyway. Anyways, so now this thing works for doing that. False, true. Maybe when you open the widget, then we should pop down the entries automatically. So let's see. Maybe we will have a thingy for this. Could we do? No, because it's not added yet. So I'll say Boy did begin editing. We'll begin editing. Combo box. Open. I wonder how this would turn out. So this should be an optional virtual that you can implement if you want to do something interesting. Otherwise, we'll just leave it empty by default. And in the abstract view, I think we'll put it edit widget. No, editing delegate. We'll begin editing. Okay. What did I forget? Combo, set model, something, something. Oh shit. Okay, that's pretty cool. Just pops it up automatically like that. I think maybe we could even make it look cooler by some combo select all. And we'll do it here. Okay, now let's look at this. Hopefully this should be just the way that I want it. Of course, this Boolean editor thingy could probably be like generalized. That's pretty cool. I like that. Very nice. I'm wondering if true should be at the top. Maybe it's good the way it is. Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe the editing of a Boolean, the delegate for that should be a default thingy. I don't know. But right now, I'm just going to keep it here in the VB properties window. So let's look at what we have here. Git add GUI model editing delegate. So what have we done? We added the, where is that? Here, the model editing delegate, which is now responsible for creating a widget that you can use to edit an arbitrary index in a model. And then you set one of these on the view, and then when the view wants to edit an index, then it asks this delegate to it asks for a delegate, and then it uses that delegate to perform the editing, or to create a widget for the editing. Right, and then we make the bool values model. It's just the false and the true. Simple string model. Maybe there should be a convenience class for making these, I don't know. And here we made the Boolean model editing delegate. Let's see, where did we have that thing? Just thinking, yeah, so if you don't have one of these things set up, then we're not going to be able to do editing. I think that makes sense. Maybe there should be a fallback here that does exactly what this thing does, but right now let's keep it this way, and I think that's okay. So yeah, so that just implements editing for Boolean values, the combo box, with all this fancy schmancy behaviors that we just implemented. And when we create the table view in the properties window, then we set this aid create editing delegate hook to help us create these. And I think we can just put auto here. All right, and we use the custom role to plumb through the type of the property. There's this blue thing that didn't work out. Should come back to that. And now when we are in GAbstract view begin editing, we create a delegate first, and then bind to that delegate to the current index, and then we use the editing delegate to create a widget. So that makes sense. Okay. Moved it back. I don't remember what that's about. Well, anyway. So this basically seems to work. So let's just be happy with this to do. Was there anything more? Oh yeah, in the combo box, I'll do the. We can actually commit that separately. Oh well, now actually I've added this thing already, so let's just commit this in one big go. It's the editing delegate. It's all just a big chunk, but let's leave that in as well. Or no, it's just gonna pollute this commit. Okay. Let's say libgui plus visual builder. Support custom editing widgets for property values. Implementing this by extending views a G model editing delegate for given index, and then which then knows how to create and set up a custom widget appropriate for the data type being edited. Yeah. Wow, this was a little bit of a confused development session. I guess because I didn't really know when I started out how I wanted to do this, but I think it still turned out pretty okay. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and for hanging out with me while I, fumbled through this. And I hope you saw something interesting here, and I'll see you next time.